Are you tired of an angry politics that tries to pit us against each other? Let's work together to change that. Hi, everybody. Matt Brower with the Montana Catholic Conference. With the election quickly approaching, I think this is a good time to remind ourselves of what a great blessing it is to live in a country where we are free to participate in the political process, helping to shape society through our voting and our advocacy. This is a tremendous gift and one that we should never take for granted. No doubt it can be easy to forget what a gift it is we enjoy when we're in the heat of an election cycle. It seems our nation is in a constant state of crisis, and our civil discourse has become so degraded. But we must remember this great gift of the freedom to participate. If we don't value that freedom, we can't possibly hope to preserve it. And so, as Catholics, we need to be a people marked by gratitude, hope, and humility. No question, there's a lot of division in our country right now, and sadly, I've seen that spill over into our church. This isn't to say that we all need to agree about everything or that diversity of opinion isn't healthy. But in our politics, as elsewhere in our life, it's very important that when we're speaking the truth, when we're seeking justice and the good, it should always be done in love and solidarity, aiming to bring us as a people together as partners in truth-seeking. Unfortunately, it seems there are some who have entered the political fray, the political back and forth, with a desire to divide us, to put us into camps or on teams, pitting us against each other with no appreciation for our interconnectedness or sense of our common origin and end in God. This is the realm of the ideologues, the keyboard warriors, the social media bullies. There's a difference in purpose and effect between proclaiming the truth to unite versus doing so to divide. And we need to remember, we can't reflect or even see the light of truth if we aren't oriented toward and motivated by love. I think this calls for some self-reflection on our part. When we're challenged or encounter someone who holds a different position or different perspective than we do, and maybe it's even someone we typically agree with, do we give that person the benefit of the doubt? Do we then humbly step back to re-examine our position and then seek understanding and dialogue when possible? Or instead, do we instantly blame the other person, call out his or her betrayal of the truth, and begin attributing a motive we have no business attributing? Because if our approach is the latter, that prevents us from being the witnesses to hope and truth that we are called to be. I think too often we're tempted to begin throwing verbal punches, staking claim to the ground that we believe is rightfully ours, never giving an inch, seeing threats lurking around every corner. And maybe, just maybe, that's because what's really threatened is our self-identity. A self-identity that has become too wrapped up in politics. A politics that has supplanted the place that faith, that God ought to hold in our lives. We have to honestly ask ourselves, do we spend more time listening to partisan surrogates and media figures than we do our own church? Who do we seek out when trying to understand complex issues? Who do we trust and why? The church doesn't propose to have answers to every policy question, but it does provide us with a consistent moral framework for making decisions, and it reminds us of who we are at our core, who we came from, and who we belong to. We're Catholics, we're Christians, and our identity is defined first and foremost by our relationship with God, with Jesus Christ, and with His church. This should provide us with a sense of security and enable us to engage with others on political and moral issues with respect and with charity. When we live this out with confidence and humility, It allows us to breathe life into our politics and to transform it so that moral principles will drive decisions rather than polls and partisanship, so that the needs of all will come before the wants of some, so that the needs of the most vulnerable will truly be prioritized and the common good pursued, even when it means sacrifices on our part. If this seems too idealistic or too disconnected from reality, remember this: God became man. Jesus Christ rose from the dead, and he makes himself really, truly present to us this day and every day. We have no excuse for not engaging in the messiness of our politics and engaging with faith, hope, and love. Doing so will transform our church. It will transform the world. And most importantly, it will transform us. Thank you again for watching. I hope you'll join me next time.